3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
Welcome to Mission Control, Peralta Design's podcast on all things branding and digital marketing. Since 2009, Peralta Design has launched hundreds of brands with award-winning identities and websites. Join our hosts Ramon and Jorge as they use decades of combined experience to tackle topics with past clients, industry partners, and the rest of the PD crew. At Peralta Design, we launch brands. But for now, let's launch right into this episode of Mission Control.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining us today. This is Ramon Peralta with Peralta Design. I'm your creative director and trusty host here of Mission Control, the Peralta Design podcast. And yes, we're still going through this trying time here where we've been counting it as week 7 of working 100% remotely as the country and society and everybody tries to continue to move forward and kind of get through this tough time where we're losing folks and businesses are opening in some states and closing in others, and we're keeping an eye on the news, but we're also just trying to get work done and have some fun and look at the silver lining in all of this so that we can get through this in a positive way. And again, the format this time is we got the whole team with us here. And at this point, I'd like us to go around and just everybody get a chance to introduce themselves, and we'll start with Jorge.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Jorge Pezo Candelario, and I'm the Director of Web Development here at Peralta Design. And I'm a dad, developer, designer, try to lead the web team and just try to be a positive leadership example for the rest of the folks here.
All right, Kev, you're up.
My name is Kevin Atterbury. I work on the web development team. I specialize in the backend development and any database development. So anything that needs to connect to an API or any kind of functionality or storing or processing of data is my specialty.
And are you going to introduce your pet snake or no?
No, not this.
Okay.
He's not. He's been he's been on TV, so this is below him. You know, I'd have to talk to his agent to make sure it's okay.
I was gonna say he's an essential worker, so he's got to he's on the front lines. He's on the front lines, yeah. So exactly. Yeah, awesome. Amanda, you're up.
Hi, I'm Amanda Barnes. I am the art director here at Peralta Design. So specialize in all things print and visually digital things as well, from logos to creating social media images to a little bit of helping the web team with web design. So if you can see it, I might have worked on it.
Awesome. Thanks, Amanda. Let's see. Next up, we've got George.
I'm George Ramirez, web designer at Peralta Design, specializing in UI, UX design, and front-end development.
All right. And George, we're probably going to get back to you on this whole thing of how you've been affected by not being able to perform. You were moonlighting as a rock star, and I'm sure you missed that. So we definitely want to hear about that when we come back around.
Okay.
Yeah. Fernanda, you're up.
Hi, everyone. My name is Fernanda Ferrari. I am part of the digital marketing team, and I also handle internal marketing. So I handle PD social media, and I also run operations. So a lot of admin as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Fernanda. And is Emily there, or she?
It's nap time. Literally,
time.
She woke up before we started. I was like, shh, go back to sleep.
Awesome. Danny.
Hi, I'm Danny Cinto. I do video production and animation for Peralta Design, and I'm currently working on these podcasts right now, so I'm very excited to have the discussion we're having today.
Cool. Thanks, Danny. And Steve.
Hey, so I'm Steve Cartagena. I'm a marketing strategist, part of the digital marketing team, and I'm primarily responsible for the external client side, digital marketing things. yeah, and helping and supporting everywhere I can. Web team, shoot a video, anything.
Yes, yeah, you wear several hats as many of us do, and we're definitely glad to have you. And I guess the focus today, we're going to talk about how have we been, entertaining ourselves, and since we have this new normal of being home on lockdowns, if you will, and just kind of not being able to go out to the movie theater or do go out to eat in restaurants, and being able to kind of compartmentalize our living environment, our living quarters into different areas, if you will, for different times of the day. I mean, for me, for the first time, I fired up my PlayStation and have been enjoying, just kind of going on there. I've been gravitating towards the golf game that is very difficult to putt with and gets me just as angry as I do in real life. But as we were just talking amongst the team, our calendar.
I gotta ask real quick. When's
Yeah.
the last time you picked up a video game controller prior to this current session, the PS4?
Geez, a very long time, probably years, in fact. It took me a while just to kind of. It's like driving stick, where you're looking down to see what gear you're in. I kind of had to go back to remembering where the X and the O and the square and all that stuff. But
how was the experience of actually firing it up, and what it's like to play, even start a game in 2020?
Yeah, I mean the internet connection is like a requirement, and back in the day that was not. You didn't play online, and so it's like. Even though I'm not playing against anyone, I find there's so many features that are connected to the internet and I also just want to be able to edit the golfer and save my progress and just kind of I don't know. I want to be connected even in the video game. So that part is new, at least for me, not being a gamer in the sense of probably skipped a few generations of the PlayStation. I know when RJ lived with us, he was kind of more into the Xbox versus the PS3. I know that at some point they were neck and neck, but when it came around time for me to pick up a console, I'm a Sony guy. I just love all Sony components and Sony UI, and I ended up picking that up. And golf has been a good kind of distraction for me in the evenings, after I break from work, after dinner, but before the missus and I sit down for a movie. I'll play a game or two. I'll say I'm gonna go get 18 in, or I'm gonna go get 9 in, and it's been great. But that's what I've been doing. Watching more Netflix. Getting into some of the series. Currently watching Waco. And that's been funny because my wife and I, we lived through that. We remember it pretty vividly, and watching what really happened, or at least what's being depicted as really happened, has been interesting. We celebrated my mom's birthday, via Zoom. We're probably going to do the same thing for Mother's Day. We did my niece's birthday via FaceTime. So. We're still kind of doing the things we used to do, just doing them differently. So that's kind of what's been going on, and we're finding that silver lining, and I want to hear from you guys. I know, Jorge, you and Amanda have been talking about this Animal Farm or some other.
So it's only
the book by Orwell. Yeah.
It's only a global event,
That's what I keep thinking of.
Listen. Nintendo has created a real sensation here. And there's all these conspiracy theorists who are like, did they have anything to do with this? Because it just way too well timed that in the moment where you can't leave your house, they created virtual life on a paradise island that you have to build. And but it's been ridiculous. Nintendo Switches are sold out everywhere. The copy of the game, the only reason the sales stopped was because they were out of stock. As soon as copies became available again, it zoomed right back to the top of the charts. And I commend them because especially now, looking for distractions that are just kind of low, low intensity, just something to de-stress at the end of a long day. And Animal Crossing just seems to fit in there because everything's at your own pace. You're not looking to pull off a complicated series of combos, or I don't have to, land a sniper shot at an enemy, while doing a 360 spin and, trying to do too many things at once. It's literally just at my own pace. I'm planting trees. I'm harvesting goods. I'm interacting with my villagers. I'm customizing this whole town. It's kind of neat, also in that it simulates thing in real life. Somebody put it out there that said, wait a second, are you guys playing a game that simulates debt? That's the fantasy escape for you, and the fantasy escape is that we can pay it all off.
Yeah.
This is my third mortgage, and I'm paying it off in the game. It's great, and it's this great sense of accomplishment, and it's community based. That's the other great thing. There's a lot of friends that I haven't been able to see in person, but we've been visiting each other's islands, and it just gives you this really neat little whimsical thing. You see everyone's creativity open up. And to that effect, Amanda's creativity has been spectacular. We never stop branding, even in the game. Amanda's released an entire set of PD gear exclusive to her island. In the
I need some screenshots.
Oh yeah, for sure. Actually, I think I took a couple pictures, so I can send these to you guys, and we'll put it up in the video for sure.
I'll put it in the video.
Overlay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's great, and as soon as I put it on, I'm like, well, now I just have to represent on this. So it's been neat that even some of my friends who are aware of our company and our brand are like, oh my god, that's so cool. So kudos to Amanda for her. I can't imagine how long it took to do.
That's dope.
That cracks me up because now I just imagine like all you're doing in Animal Crossing is you built an office for yourself so you could have the experience of going to PD.
Oh my god. What about Kev? I thought Kevin was like a big gamer, and I haven't really heard him say much about playing games anymore.
Oh, I've been playing a lot of games. I just did not buy Animal Crossing. Even though I have bought a couple because Steam has had these ridiculous sales where it's like, oh, this $40 game is $3. It's like, well, I'm gonna buy that now. There's no way I'm gonna pass that. But I'm trying to play all these games that I purchased that I've never played. Because there's a lot, because they constantly have these sales, and then
the backlog.
Yeah, I'll buy these games, and then at the end of the day, I just ended up playing all these free games for like 10 hours anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, I have not bought any. I'm not buying any new, or trying not to buy any new games, and not getting an Animal Crossing because I already know it'll be like what Amanda said, just playing that constantly.
Yeah. Anything else you're doing? I know you got the snake. Is there something cool you do? Like, do you walk it? Is there anything you can do?
No, I don't walk him. I do
walk it.
Sometimes I'll, I'll let him out of his tank just to kind of let him slither around, just because it sucks. The tank is kind of small.
Give him some space.
Yeah, but no, it's like I sent you the picture last time. I put these like cloths in there, and it's funny because he goes underneath them because, it's a dark space, but it just looks like he's using a blanket now. It's hilarious.
What kind of snake is it again? I don't know if you've mentioned.
Ball python.
Oh, okay. Now, does this guy, like, if you pick him up, does he start wrapping around your arm automatically, or he's not a constricting type?
He's a constrictor. And yeah, it depends. Like sometimes, he'll, especially if he's trying to get out of his tank and he sees me there, he'll try to latch onto my arm or anything so he can try to get up and get out to escape. But yeah, he's definitely not poisonous. He's a constrictor, so to kill the mice, he bites it, wraps them up, squeezes them, and swallows them whole.
What fun!
Hey, snakes gotta eat.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Well, now all the listeners back home, now they can take that information with them. That's how ball pythons eat.
That's how they eat. Fernanda she saw a video.
Yeah, I was gonna. The other day, I wanted to show Emily what snakes eat, so I was like, Kev, chat me so we can video chat and I can show Emily.
Are you
so
trying
Emily
to traumatize the poor
snake.
kid?
I'm like, what?
Oh my god.
She liked it.
It was awesome. She wanted to stay there all day. I was like, no.
She's like, can you feed him another one? I was like, yeah.
It's going like in the opposite direction than you expected. It's like, no, you're not supposed to like that, actually.
Oh my god, Amanda! I just saw the screenshot that you did. Tell us how many hours that. I mean, I don't know if I heard you correctly the last time you said how much time you've invested in this game.
The last time I told you guys how long it was at 100 hours, but it is well over that now.
Jorge, are you wearing a face mask in game?
Oh yeah, I've been following strict social distancing. Even I keep my distance from you when we're. Listen, I'm not taking any chances. I told you.
Oh, you can't run the risk, man.
Like, I'm not getting that digital roto either.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm a little obsessed with the game. I literally wake up at 6:30, and the first thing I do is I pick up my Switch, and I go into Animal Crossing.
Dedication.
Oh my god! Before you brush your teeth or even go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's amazing. So many things happen in real time, right? Like I planted these these fruit trees that aren't gonna. You got to plan it all out, right? You get money by selling things, right? It's commerce, and if I just planted all these cherry trees, they're not gonna bloom and they're not gonna bear fruit for 3 real world days. So you kind of have to like plan out the orchard strategically, so that way you're like, all right, I'm gonna harvest the oranges today, the apples tomorrow, the cherries the next day. There's like a whole virtual stock market that works where you have to buy turnips. They're only available on Sunday between 9 and 12. And I kept forgetting it.
Prices are awful.
Oh yeah, mine are really bad. But also, so get this: people are creating new businesses around this. There's a business that will come and virtually weed your entire island for you, and
for real life,
and
real life cash.
Real life cash. You Venmo them, and now people are doing the same thing. So turnip prices, right? So you buy turnips. You can only buy them on Sunday between 9 and 12. I bought them at $110 a turnip. And then the stock market changes every day, so you have to see what the buying and selling price is. There's an AM and a PM price. Today, one of my friends had I bought at 100, and he had them selling for almost 700. And so there's this whole website. You go online, you post your price, and you have to pay the exchange fee. So it's like if you give me $1,000, you can sell as many turnips here as you want. And then my other friend is running security, so it's like until you drop the payment, he won't let you into the building to sell it. And they've designed the island in such a way that there's a security checkpoint, and it's incredible. Talk about innovation. Talk about you know what I mean? New businesses.
You can enjoy bureaucracy from your own home. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Amanda, but okay, so are you doing anything else besides Animal Crossing?
I do sometimes.
You go outside? Do you like,
I only ever go outside to take the dogs out. I did take my dog for a walk over the weekend, but I'll go. So what I usually do is after work, when I'm all done, I go downstairs, take the dogs out. That's first. Then I see if I gotta wash the dishes. And then I grab Animal Crossing, and I'll go to the living room to keep my mom company. And depending on what day of the week it is, we'll watch our weekly shows. Like tonight, we watch The Masked Singer.
Oh, speaking of good shows, and just because it's Wednesday, Little Fires Everywhere. That's Elise and Zoe's new show. Yeah. That is a show.
What is that?
It's on Hulu. I don't know if it's a Hulu original or if it's just on Hulu with ABC. I'm not actually sure. But it airs only on Hulu. It's the only thing you have it on. And it is a spectacular show. Reese Witherspoon. I don't remember the name of her mom. She's been in a ton of different things. I want to say she was in Scandal. I think that's...
Kerry Washington.
Yeah, exactly. She's excellent in it. The whole fact that the time period it takes place in is the 90s is really great too. Can't recommend that enough. And I've only seen it like tangentially, when they've had it on, but just the little pieces I've seen are really well done.
We'll have to check it out. George, I know for a fact you are not playing Animal Crossing.
Right. You are correct.
So are you
I'm
like?
probably the only non-gamer, I think, on the team.
No, I'm not a gamer, George. I was literally going to say that my turn. I'm probably
That's a lie. That's a lie, Fernanda.
But you're right. It's you and
Mobile games count.
So yeah, so I'm also the oldest person on the team. So when I hear you guys talking about gaming, I feel even older. But that's all right. But yeah, I've been doing the binge watching thing. Ozark is really good. We also watch Little Fires Everywhere, which is really good. And yeah, as Ramon mentioned earlier, I play guitar, and so that's really been affected me because I had a bunch of gigs lined up for April and May, and obviously those are all not happening. And there's really no telling when that's going to happen, because even if the restaurants and bars do open up, it's kind of like, who's really going to want to come out to a crowded area, for live music?
Right.
So we'll see. I think a lot. I see a lot of my fellow musicians posting little shows on like Facebook Live and Instagram and stuff like that. So I think that's gonna kind of grow as an option, as an alternative until things get better.
I think I like to see you guys do that.
Yeah. So in the meantime, I've been practicing a lot, which has been fun. Probably more so than I did before, before all this, just to pass the time. But
Solo album.
What's that?
Start working on that solo album.
Right. Yeah, I might not have a choice.
Now, if you don't play guitar, do you get rusty? Is that a thing with musicians?
I do, yeah. And then with guitar, you build up calluses on your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't play for a while, you definitely lose them. So that's important to kind of keep going. But also, trying to stay in shape has been a challenge. I don't know about you guys, but I need to figure out some kind of cardiovascular workout to do with like no equipment.
Ramon actually inspired me because he did the old man Instagram post where he was like, I do 100 push-ups every morning and night. I'm like, well, if Ramon's doing that many, then I got to start somewhere. So when I started week 2, of quarantine, I could only do 10, and as of today, I've been like every week I up my number a little bit, so I'm up to 30 now. So that felt like a good increase.
So
and that's just one piece of the workout.
Well, I think we're gonna have a push-up challenge at some point.
No, I am not included. I don't know how to do push-ups.
We'll have to, figure out the Brazilian capoeira version of a push-up for Fernanda. But let's get to Fernanda because we want to get around to everybody to hear what they're doing to entertain themselves and outside of work while they're home during this challenging time. So let's hear it. What's the typical Brazilian activity?
Brazilian activity? So, what I've been doing during this time is not playing video games and not watching a whole lot of TV. I have, though, started new hobbies because I love doing that. I actually just got this stuff in today from Amazon. I am now making my own earrings because I don't want to spend $20 on beautiful bold earrings. I'm like, why not just make it myself? So I thought, you know what, let me just do this because not only will I make it for myself, but then I can gift people earrings versus having to buy them a whole gift. So I started that, which was fun. I also built my garden this year, my raised bed, which was nice. I've never done that before.
A real garden, right?
A real garden, not Animal Crossing. In real life. So I did that.
You're actually growing actual real turnips in your garden. So
real ones. Exactly. That's funny. No. I've been trying. I've been having a hard time with the exercise as well. I've been trying to do more yoga, but I guess with me it's really hard because I have a daughter. So when I'm not working, I'm trying to focus on her. And when I'm not focusing on her, I'm probably exhausted, so I'm sleeping. So, when I do have some time here and there, I've just been, really
Cooking? Do you making any like Brazilian treats or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I've been cooking a lot more too. Yeah, I always make like brigadeiro, which is that chocolate truffle thing that I love eating because I'm addicted to sugar. We've also made cakes, and I made my very own naan bread for the first time. That was a couple weeks ago, but I was very proud of that.
Nice.
I made arepas. Yeah, I made a bunch of stuff that I really love that I probably would never have made because I don't have time for it, and now I kind of do. So
That's cool.
And Emily
Awesome.
gets to help me with it, so it's like a killing two birds with one stone kind of thing.
Nice. Good stuff. Danny, I know that you are into dressing up and cosplay. So is that something you still do during the quarantine?
No, I don't do that other than at one convention a year. So, I'm not just chilling in my room dressed in cosplay. I don't put on my Naruto headband before I go to bed. Just chilling out.
No, Steve does that actually, though.
I do that. I do that.
Oh, yeah, no. No, what I've been doing mostly is it's kind of crazy because I've been working on making videos for myself, YouTube videos and my own content. So I actually just do that, and that's it. Like, I think all the hours Amanda has spent playing Animal Crossing, I've spent making videos outside of work, and it is to the point where my family is alarmed by it. Where I come downstairs and they're just like, "You're on that computer for a while, aren't you?" And it's a lot. It's a lot of video making.
And have you shared
really
your
weird.
recent success with your family?
Yeah, they've kept track of my recent success on there. But they, it just cracks me up because I've taken a habit of wearing my shoes at my desk during the workday and then taking them off when my workday's over, just to add some kind of shift between video editing for PD and video editing for me. It's crazy. And some days, including today, right now I'm on a massive crunch for my own stuff. I just, like, straight from the end of work, I eat dinner right after work, and then I get back on my computer and I make videos until like 9:30 and then crash on my bed and wake up and repeat it all again. So that's been what's consuming my time. Just a lot of work.
So I know that you find that fun. So aside from that, what would you consider something that you've picked up or new that you consider to be something fun to kind of just take advantage of that? Hey, I'm not commuting, or are you just filling up every waking moment with more work?
So a lot of my work just requires like recording certain things. Some of those things are games. So those are like my fun work days where I sit down and I record. Like, for example, I'm doing a thing about Half-Life, a game series from the late 90s right now. So I played back through a bunch of the games in order to capture the footage for it so I can talk about it in the videos I'm producing. So those are the fun days. But I also have been this is going to sound really nerdy, but practicing my knot work from Boy Scouts, lashing a lot of things together in my woods just because I figure it's good to refresh my memory of these different kinds of tying sequences. I don't know.
That's a good survival skill.
That's cool.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Steve,
Hey.
what's cooking over in Cartagena, Colombia?
Well, when Fernando mentioned arepas, that's something that I definitely am glad to be back home for. My mom, she cooks some great arepas. Sometimes she makes them from scratch. Takes the white corn and just like it's pretty amazing. You know, repping Colombia. Something recently, I guess media-wise, my dad's been super into these historical dramas on Netflix, and I'm hooked. Like, I'll just be eating dinner in the living room, and I'm just like just looking, The Last Kingdom is one of them. I don't know if you guys check that out. It's a really cool series about like the Danish, like Viking sort of era, kind of invading England. It's very dramatic and stuff. And then Medici It's all about the Medici family in Italy, and it's just like this cool, like, you know, historical drama, and I'm into it. Other than that, then just trying to take advantage of the good days. When there's good weather outside, you know, either going for a walk, going for a drive, visiting the beach. It's always been really therapeutic for me, just seeing the waves crash, and just, you know, catching up with friends and like over the phone. I mean, like FaceTiming and stuff. That's kind of been the thing, the routine to kind of get away.
Awesome. And any new hobbies or skills that you've picked up? Anything that you think you wouldn't have had time for that you might have time for now? Or
I feel like it's been kind of the same. Digital marketing is so broad, you know. It's like the same kind of topics that we've been diving into. You can just dive into infinitely, and so the kind of, whenever I'm not working, I'm thinking kind of how I could help out with Level Up Fitness. So my sister and brother-in-law's business, and just kind of helping them out with that. They're trying to become a nonprofit now, and that's like a whole other endeavor. So it's cool stuff.
Yeah. Good stuff. Love to hear more about that that pivot that it sounds like Malcolm's doing. Definitely, I think overall, you know, we want to stress out to our listeners there that this is a great time to, you know, look at the silver lining in this, that we're all kind of by no choice of our own in many cases. You know, we're with our families much more. We're home much more. We're just appreciating things that we probably overlooked or just weren't spending much time with or around, and you know, the little things really are the things I'm appreciating. Like you know, I have for lunch, you know, I have like the tuna, the peanut butter and jelly, the egg salad on heavy rotation. And yesterday I just, you know, it was kind of nice out. Finally, I sat out on the front porch for the first time. We've lived in this house almost a year. And I actually sat down and ate a sandwich on my porch, which was just like, you know, it just took me back. And it was just something that I would never feel like I had the time to do. And taking walks around the neighborhood, you know, my Nancy and I went for a walk, just went down the street next to ours for the first time since we've lived here. It's just amazing. We never walked down the street, and we did that. So I'd like to hear some final thoughts, because I'm certainly focusing on the silver lining and really appreciating the real simple things that I think I was just kind of whizzing by or speeding by before. So we hope our listeners are doing the same. It's helping us get through this time, and just want to give a chance to anybody on the team that might want to just share a final thought or two that might inspire somebody out there to just kind of keep pushing forward and stay positive during this time.
I think, you know, a lot of us get caught up in the day-to-day of what's happening. I think it's important to just, like we said, focus on the good, the thought that, you know, you're not stuck at home but safe at home. You know, the thought that you know, there's been so many good little things that have come lately. The fact that you're getting to spend that more time. I think it's super important to take breaks. I know that this seems like the last, you know, thing that you want to think about is, you know, to take a day off during during the ongoing crisis and what's happening, but can't burn the candle at both ends. You know, something's going to give at some point. It's super important to do that as well. You know, take that time to recharge, to refresh. That way you can be as effective and you know, as present for the people who you're around, and for you know, anybody else in your life that you're contacting virtually.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff, Jorge. Anybody else want to share something before we wrap?
I just want to share that Community is on Netflix, and I recommend people check that out.
All right. Good show recommendation. Well, I think we're running out of time on our podcast, folks. We want to kind of keep it to a good amount of time. We're glad you were able to join us. I think Jorge said it best. We focus on the good, and I think we look at the silver lining, and it's all about perspective. If we're home and we're able to work, or you're safe and you've got food in the fridge and your family's healthy. I mean, those are the things that we should really be grateful for, and I think gratitude makes us appreciate the things we have instead of focusing on the things we don't. And so we want us to all stay positive, and thank you for joining us. This is Ramon Peralta with Peralta Design. We launch brands, and we thank you for joining us here on Mission Control.
Thank you for taking this journey with us. To learn more about Peralta Design and our work, go to www.peraltadesign.com and subscribe to keep up with the crew.